Hey guys, welcome back. This is Lucid. We're jumping back into Black Swan, and it's turn 40. And if you recall in the last episode, Lanka decided to attack us, and went 4 for 4 with 4 attacks on us, being successful. And this turn we were preparing some pretty big defenses, because it looked like he was going to be rushing towards our capital while we were distracted with Calum's cap. And let's see how that actually goes. So Lanka attacks me here. We're going to go ahead and jump to this, because I think this is probably the most important. And so he's moving in here. He's got a bunch of Storm Demons. He's got a bunch of Ganas. He's got some Dark Vines, which are pretty good. And then a bunch of Bandars and some Chaff in front. I'm not really sure about the formation here. He's got this, a few of these guys. I'm not sure what they were going to cast. Maybe Air Elementals? I'm not sure. He's got a Dakini here too, which tells me something about his research. Dakinis are, what, Blood 6 or Blood 7? Fair amount of air gems. I'm not sure what those are for, maybe air elementals. But on my side, we have the army of Mekone. And we're a little bit kind of jumbled up here just because the PD, I think it kind of messed up our formation some. But a lot of these guys either have javelins or bows, and so when we drop flaming arrows, there's going to be a lot of that. So let's go ahead and let the battle go. You can see our PD running in first. This is all PD too, so that was kind of what was hosing up my formation a little. Strength of Giants going out. There's flaming arrows. Now, his Storm Demons are targeting my archers, which is a little annoying. I'd much rather they go after my PD. I think we've already dropped, yeah, we dropped mass protection. So these guys are, you know, they have respectable protection now. And they'll do okay in melee. Our giants have made contact, our Gigante Hoplites. And they are just giving a what for to these Esrapas. He summoned a couple air elementals, which are kind of getting picked to pieces by, these guys have magic attacks, so they do pretty good against air elementals. And he's got a little bit of Thunderstrike spam coming out, but just not enough. And these Gigante Hoplites are doing pretty good. Now it's going to take them a while to wear through these Dark Vines, but the Dark Vines aren't going to do much damage to them because they've got a lot of protection, basically. Like, even these guys who don't have as much, yeah, 21 on the less armored version. On the heavily armored version, they're at 24, so that is a lot of protection to get through. And they've got a pretty big HP pool. Now these guys are getting back into the Storm Demons now, and also kind of melting. Storm Demons are really good troops. And our Peltasts starting to finally do what they do best, which is tactical retreat. And we should be getting an HP route on Lanka now, yeah. Haven't got anything left. Now this guy's fatigued out. Okay, we got him. So if we look at the battle report, we got one of his Rock Shirajas, and then we killed almost everything. On our side, we lost a lot of stuff. We lost a lot of our Peltasts, we lost a lot of our archers. We did not lose many of our giants. Our lesser protection giants, we lost 3, but our better protection giants, we didn't lose any. And then the PD got kind of a whooping, but less of a whooping than I would have wished. I wish we could have transferred a lot of the losses down here. But anyway, we weren't so lucky. But we repelled them. And honestly, it was, I mean, the bad thing is we didn't kill a lot of Storm Demons, but otherwise I'm pretty happy. We are attacking Lanka here. I forget what we're attacking with. Oh, this was just... We were just attacking him here, and I didn't know what he would send, but I had this guy just basically do some light thugging. So anyway, there's a chance he's got another army here that he re-engages. I'm not sure that he does. I don't think he does, but we're going to prepare for it. So we're going to send another big squad back in, and then we'll probably move them to go on the offensive. These armies here did not really go on the offensive. It looks like they were more defending, anticipating that like this army here might choose to raid them. But no, we've been getting ready for a big castle storming, and that is what we're going to do. So the only thing that I'm regretting is I still haven't figured out the attack rear thing. Because nobody is scripted to attack rear, and really I should. But I'm hoping we can just overwhelm them with mass amounts of archer fire with javelins and slingers and all this stuff. That's my hope. We got 700 troops. They don't have that much shit in here. I've seen what they have. It's just like 20 dudes. And if these guys can't kill 20 dudes with mass protection and flaming arrows and it's like whatever, then fuck my life. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. We aren't sending everybody in. Some of these people we're going over here. We've got mass protection, flaming arrows, a bunch of stuff. Because I think this is a pretty predictable move. Like, where else is this army going to go except for up here? So anyway, we're hoping he moves predictably, and then we'll catch him, and this should easily be enough to kill that. He could be moving other stuff. Like, if he moves that army and this army, we might be in a little bit of trouble. But I think even then we'll be okay. So I think that's it. Let's go ahead and go to the next turn. Alright, let's check outgoing diplomacy. Okay, we sent 20 earth gems to Satis. That was in trade for 20 death gems. I think he's going to send me some more stuff too. We're going to start sending him some lanterns at some point. I don't know when we're going to do that, but... And unfortunately, I'm not able to make lanterns for myself because I'm going to need all my fire gems for doing things like flaming arrows and fire elementals and stuff, so... It's a little unfortunate. I rushed construction, then I can't really use it. Let's go ahead and do turn 41. Message from Marverni. My border with him is the same as with you. Narrow and defended by a well-garrisoned fort. I have a nap with both of you. I would normally be tempted to try to jump on at least one of you, but it seems... Zabalba is eating Van to my south, and my troops will be needed there for now. Let me know if there's anything you need crafted for your thugs, though. Marverni. We get fire and air gems from Satis. I think the death we're paying... I can't even remember. The air... I think I sent him earth in exchange for air. Message from Lanka. Oh yes, my games are much more about war now. Oh, I think I had sent him a message or something saying, oh, you're actually recruiting troops now rather than just mages, because some game he was in, he basically only made mages and researched, which is fine if you don't get attacked, but anyway. When I asked for peace, I was at war with my foot on the till, so to speak. But when you refused, sued for peace for a small prize so that I could fight you instead. Whilst still play a late game blooming nation. I will still be at war well ahead of my power curve. I'll just have to use skullduggery in late blooming cases to survive. Which I'm not exactly sure what all that means, but I guess he said that like he thinks he's not peaking out in power, but I guess he thinks he can win, or I don't even know. That last turn did not go as I was hoping. I misread how much mage support you could bring to bear on the obvious move I had, and completely missed with my anticipation of your second move. Calum sold all the items they got. I just hope they didn't squander the gems trying to summon troops that won't arrive until after the battle. My scout awaits to see what happens. So, he sent just a sorrow monster who was old to die. Magic site. Dire Port went up. I think that was Stellar Focus from Marverni, so fuck. We have a battle in the Fortress of Calum. On one side, we have more fucking troops from Mekone than you could ever imagine. On the other side, we have a little bit of chaff, which is like extremely cheap. We have his Pretender, which we haven't seen until now. And we have like 5 cap only mages. Who will win? Let's find out. Here come the thunder strikes. We've got a natural storm going. Here come the archers. Part of the problem isn't really just the narrowing. Part of the problem is, like, my guys all split up and they go after these stupid wall guys rather than kind of fight on the ground. And he's creating, with his god, a rather large amount of skelly spam. This guy certainly looks like he's retreating. No, he's not. These air elementals are clogging up the gate, though. This fucking gate. Painful to relive this. Like, I'm thinking in my mind that, oh, we've got a bunch of archers, they'll just kill, like with these slingers, we'll just kill all the skeletons in the gate, and then we'll run to the back. But instead, my guys basically sit here like idiots, hardly attacking anything. We've got just completely unreasonable amounts of skelly spam coming out from this god. I think these guys have now routed, so instead of just being normally useless, they're being extraordinarily useless by clogging up the gate. And at this point, I really want to switch sides and join Calum in killing all of my fucking useless troops. Now, maybe summoning fire elementals would have helped. There's a good chance fire elementals kind of burn in nature and guys unless you're really strategic how you place them and then they actually run with good AI. Because fire elementals can go through walls. But anyway, here's what we're left with. We lost 300 dudes. We killed 90 of his guys. 3 Eagle Kings, which is the only silver lining in this whole freaking thing. We got 2 of his death mages, which I guess is nice. And we killed some of his chaff. But basically, it's a huge clusterfuck. An enormous, ridiculously large clusterfuck. Not a great way to start off this conflict too with Lanka. So anyway, that is that. Now we're empowering this guy in air so that he can probably jump on top of a Lankan army. Am I doing... Let's see. I don't think I have any Crown of the Titans yet, so I haven't started making it yet, but Crown of the Titans is going to be key for dealing. And Lanka can do air elementals too, so... And did do air elementals, so... The Crown of the Titans is going to be a key item, along with air empowerment of these Titans. So anyway, we'll see that all in action later. We're going to continue spamming out Voice of Apsu. I have a fair amount of hammers. I think I have like 5 or 6 hammers floating around. So we're making some items on the cheap here. And then, yeah. So we've kind of had a victory here. Now, we could go run in here and fight these guys. Which is okay. He's pillaging this because I guess he's thinking... Fuck Mekone. Which honestly, like, why pillage something if you're planning on winning a war? He chose to attack me. I mean, I was going to attack him, but I didn't have troops on our border. So if you're gonna be attacking somebody and you think you're gonna win, like, don't pillage your own stuff. But yeah, anyway, this place is basically ruined for a good long while now. We're gonna move over this way, and we're gonna start threatening him. I want to get on the offensive in this war pretty quick. My guys who retreated off, excuse me, tactically withdrew off of Calum. We don't retreat in Mekone, we tactically withdraw. Tactically retreat. We're going to be going on the offensive, so we're going to come march our ass down this way. And then we've got a little thug who's going to come in here and raid this. He's basically just going to do... He could do Phoenix Power because we got Alt 7, but Earth Power, Iron Skin, we give him an Earth Gem for Earth Power. Iron Skin, Temper Flash, Phoenix Fire. We should have done Blessed too, because that's going to give us more reinvigoration. But we're going to have a lot of reinvigoration. We're going to have almost 10, so I think we're going to be Gucci. Anyway, that's that. And yeah, we'll be just going to sit right back on top of Calum. And hopefully we'll get kind of close to Dom killing him. It's kind of my hope to end this horribleness that is trying to siege down his forts with a bunch of cowards. It's amazing how little skelly spam it takes to just completely clog up the fort. And if you have shit mages, which is what we have, like, I guess in theory we could do, if I had higher evocation, we could do things like Pillar of Fire. It's not really accessible now. And if you don't have that, then I don't think we're gonna, like... Maybe if we had a ton of priests to deal with skelly spam. I don't know. It's tricky trying to take forts from people who can do Thunderstrike and Undead spam. But such is life. We're doing okay. We're hanging in there. And we're about to go on the offensive. We'll go ahead and do one more turn. Let's do turn 42. We're now 10 turns away from where I am in the game. I've kind of had a nagging feeling, like, playing it and then not having it recorded up till then, because I know what happens when I don't do that. I eventually get, like, unmotivated to continue recording. There's too big of a gap. It's way easier to do if you're recording real time than to come back and do it all. Okay, so we raid here, we successfully take this, which is nice. We successfully raid with our... this was our guy kitted out with that luck shield. We successfully attacked them here. I think this was the group that was near my camp moving on to attack just beneath the lake. And then we have a big battle here where he has a big stack run into me. And he's got his god and storm demons and all the accoutrements you could want. A bunch of wolves. Storm demons are just murdering me. But he spent a fair amount of air gems there, so... we killed some chaff. So, like, we lost some stuff. It was kind of a loss, because we had a fair amount of PD there, etc. But I think he spent probably 15 air gems. Thereabouts. And then some blood slaves too, I'm sure. And then it's a lot of mage turns for him. And we killed a fair amount of chaff. I mean, not a lot, but some. So, I don't know. Could be worse. Yeah, that was this battle. A bunch of events with the unrest increasing before the little battle where we get our assassins. Deadly disease spreading. Thank you for whoever's doing that to me. Fort has been breached again. One thing also I haven't really been talking about, but we've been patrolling almost all our forts every turn. And that is to keep our unrest in check. Not always, but is, you know, pretty often. It went up in the event phase here, which I think is after patrolling, so anyway, that's why it's up right now. But if we look at it, though, things are looking a lot different on this front. The Lankan army has thrust forward. This army, which was here, has pulled forward, and we were moving here, so we kind of missed each other. Like, I had an army here that moved here, he had an army here that moved here, and the way moving works is, like, you can like, if I had magic phase attack this, it would have actually interrupted the movement, and I think he would have just been stuck here. Could be kind of wrong about how that mechanic works exactly, but if I move from here to here, I know Lanka was telling me he was confused about this, but if I had these guys and I move them from here to here, and he has an army which moves from here to here, and presumably they move through this province, they're not going to intercept. Because what's going to happen is basically, at the beginning of the movement phase, it's going to say, can Lanka move from here to here? If yes, then move them. Can I move from here to here? If yes, then move them. And they move at the same time, basically. Because, yeah. Like, provinces don't change hands until battles are resolved, which are at the end of each movement phase. So, like, if I magic phased attacked here, it would interrupt, and then potentially you could think, like, okay, there would be a conflict, because they're going to move through. But, no, they'll just move past each other. So anyway, I can see how that would be confusing. But rather than deal with these guys, this army is now a little too small to fight me on top of Calum. I mean, they might be able to kill me, because it's kind of scary. They've got storm demons and stuff, but... anyway, and if they want to get Calum, fine. They can kill whatever's inside and then we'll kill them. But like, fuck if I'm like, this army's not going to take Calum. You know? So, I think our plan is we're gonna move off Calum. I'm gonna leave like one guy here who's gonna be scripted to retreat. These guys, we're gonna let, if he's really charging in to go get Calum, we're just gonna leave it to him, right? He can have it. And instead, we're gonna go take his shit and disrupt his blood economy, and like every turn we spend on top of one of his forts where he has preachers, we're potentially stopping undead production. Yeah, we're just gonna go on the offensive. So these guys are running in here. These guys are going to be running over here. These guys are going to be moving up here to defend, which actually, I'm not really sure about that as a move. We found a lab here. I went ahead and took a lot of the gear off this guy. Actually, I'm like looking at very questionably now. And this army is actually a lot bigger than it looks on the map. It's actually 400 something, right? Here on the map it only shows us 220, so that's a bad scouting report. This is actually a pretty massive army. But we are going to be reconsolidating our force here if we want to fight. So like a Jedi move would be if he took this big army and moved it here, he would catch me. But anyway, as we do this, we're also moving another army here, so we could potentially reconsolidate and fight Lanka here. 31. Yeah, okay. So we have, you're now going to see the first real mobilization of our super combatants. We've got this guy, he's got 2 frost branches because that's what I had. Probably not ideal weapons, but he's got copper plate and storm spool because we're worried about, you know, Lanka thunderstriking us or stuff. And he's going to do Iron Skin, Summon Earth Power, Flying Shield, Fire Shield, Temper Flash, Attack Closest. And he's going to Cloud Trapeze on top of this army. So hopefully that works. We're forging a Crown of Titans here, so you can see we've finally figured out we're going to need Crown of Titans to deal with air elementals. So anyway, we're forging that now, and we'll be using that shortly. We're probably going to need to do another air empowering at some point. And yeah, so basically we're going to be giving the Calum capital to Lanka while we go in and try to take a bunch of Lanka stuff. This army is going to be moving southward down here, and then we'll probably move them in here. And basically we're just going to just completely bum rush Lanka while he's marching off towards Calum. And And I think that's it. We're sending, yeah, we're sending Lightless Lanterns to Satis now. For every time he sends us fire gems, we send him. The deal right now is 4 fire gems per lantern, so I make 1 fire gem off the transaction. And I wouldn't do this except for I'm not super worried about Satis. Because, anyway, you gotta be careful about who you trade lanterns to. And, I'm sending gold to Machaka. I think he's sending me air gems in exchange for this gold that I'm sending him, but I can't remember. But the gold was to kind of help him get back on his feet, get some forts up and stuff after the Garthan War. And I think that's it, guys. It's the end of turn 42. We're going wild and crazy on the offensive in this war against Lanka. What I'm also kind of planning is once Lanka gets on top of here, this guy, or not this guy. I guess it's not here, but once we get somebody with Crown of Overmight and I get another air random or I empower a Titan, I mean a Cyclops. Yeah, so Machaka's sending me air gems, so next turn I empower, and then when he's done empowering, he'll have enough to teleport. Now I could mistime it so that we don't have a chance to get Lanka before he takes this fort, because I'm pretty sure Lanka can take it. Anyway. But we'll have this guy who can jump on top of him if he needs to in a turn or two. So anyway, guys, hope you're enjoying the series. I would kind of like to be playing a different nation, I think, but it's kind of fun to see if I can make it work with Mekone. Hope you guys are having a good one. Take care. Bye.